Hi, is John Smith here? Is John Smith here? Looking for John Smith? Looking for John Smith? Are you John Smith? Looking for John Smith in the department. John Smith, I'm looking for John Smith. Do you guys know where John Smith is?
Go down.
Who knows where John Smith is?
Hey, I asked him.
Who can tell me? Who can tell me where John Smith is?
Can somebody call 911? I called for help.
And they were, where did you have to go through the whole CH?
If I was a participant.
Who's that? Who is that now? Is that just another patient?
We were supposed to verbalize what we did.
John Smith? Hi.
Doctor, I've been shot! Help, I need help! Help! You okay?
Okay, shooters down.
Shooters down! Shooters down! Outer roll! Hold possession!
The whistle, it's over, right?
Training you've taken, they know how the drills are going down, so hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better that they understand how this is going to work. Let's do, real quick before we get into other feedback, EMS. Why don't you guys give us some feedback, what you saw?
You know, a little bit of chaos. I mean, but there was people that were hiding, which were good. People trying to barricade and lock themselves out away from the shooter. Others really didn't know what was going on. Really couldn't tell what was going on. As far as that, then everybody, if you work in a facility, have a pretty good idea what start triage is. It's very important to understand, you know, people, you get them up, you walk them wounded, you get them up, you move them to a central area, then you can do that. It makes my job that much easier because then I can deal with the other ones and that's already done. So that's pretty much what I got.
So real quick on that note, can I get a hand raised if you understand what start triage is or reverse triage? Okay. Who here's a clinician? Okay. Perfect. Okay, so wonderful. So we're gonna provide more training as an after training thing. So one of the concepts that he's talking about here, when we started doing triage after this event was over, which by the way, you know, we blew the whistle, the shooter was dead, law enforcement cleared the building, that's when people would be coming in. Otherwise, you know, don't come back in the building, right? But that's what we were simulating. The idea with that is how many, raise your hand if you were a victim. See what happened in here? How many victims we had? Okay, so we had injuries ranging from exposed brain material to, you know, minor cuts and bruises. People that were covered with blood but had no injuries. So it's hard to tell. So his point: get the walking wounded up and moving. If you can get up and walk, do it. Move. The idea with the start triage is that it's a little bit opposite of clinical triage or clinical medicine. What you would see in an emergency room is somebody with a stubbed toe, somebody with you know, like a big laceration, and somebody having a heart attack. Who goes first? Okay. In this scenario, who would go first? Right. Or the severely bleeding. The person that's in CPR status is dead. They're not getting treated because you have 15, 20 injuries and you need to move to the ones that you can save first.
Just for a note with that, it's exactly what you gotta do. You have to walk away. Very hard decision to make, but it's the right decision to make.
Recommend taking a Stop the Bleed course. Learning some basic first aid. Really what you want to learn for an event like this is hemorrhage control. Right? So we have paramedics here. I used to be a medic. At any given point, like right now, I couldn't do anything more than you could do if you took a basic first aid class because I don't have a drug box and I don't have an ambulance and I don't have everything else, right? So what you need in this event is hemorrhage control, rapid hemorrhage control. Hemorrhage, can you say it? Because if I walk past, the first 5 people that are bleeding profusely to try to find the person having a heart attack, they're probably all going to bleed to death because I need to stop them. Okay, so in an event like this is that triage thing. If I'm conscious and I can stop bleeding myself, put pressure on, put a tourniquet on, that's a good start. Now I can get to the next person. Okay? These are lessons learned hard ways, not just active shooters. When I was in the military, federal law enforcement agent, we've been on mass casualty situations, and these lessons are learned where there's, bus accident, there's 20 people deep, and the first person's got having a heart attack, and everybody stops right there. And the person in the back with a cut right here bleeds to death. Right? So when we're looking at triage, we're trying to move quickly and determine the people that we can do the most good in the shortest amount of time.
What are the chances that one of us are actually going to be helping someone else? Like the time between arrival from...
So huge, that's a great question. He asked, what's the chances that one of you who's involved in a situation will be helping somebody injured? 99 to 100%. Average law enforcement response time to anything is 8 to 11 minutes nationwide. Active shooter events last on average 6 to 8 minutes. This is your event. That's our point for being there. It's not that law enforcement doesn't want to be there, getting the bad guy, saving your life. It's just a response time lapse.
Let me add on to that. Say they're here in 8 minutes. That's 8 minutes till they get here. Whoever's here first, right? This is the new standard. They don't have a SWAT team. They don't wait for 6 guys in body armor in the big truck. First guy in's coming in. What's their plan?
What's their priority?
Find the killer and shoot them.
Find the killer and shoot them. They're not there to save your life yet.
So let's say that takes 2 minutes. Even if these guys were here 30 seconds after the shooting started, they're not getting in for 10 minutes because they're not going to be allowed in until the threat's neutralized, right? So you're 10 minutes. You're waiting 10 minutes. So the chances of cooperating or helping somebody. Think about it. If you're one of the victims in the back hallway here, and the shooter's dead now, you're injured, but could you do direct pressure? Could you do tourniquets? Could you provide life-saving measures?
So you here is basic CPR and first aid certified.
Good.
That's outstanding. I just went through my last recert about 2 months ago. Best course I've ever taken. A paramedic taught it. Outstanding. I love taking those things because every single time, and I've been through a bunch of them, you always remember a lot. You learn something new. I really encourage you guys. You guys have good resources in this county. Okay? Take advantage of that. Learn basic CPR, basic first aid. You guys can save each other's lives. That's the point of all this. You guys can learn to put pressure on something, evaluate somebody, help. Okay? This is your community. These are your friends, your family, your coworkers, maybe your kids. Okay? It's an important thing that you can learn that can help everybody you know. We highly recommend it. Okay, so let's talk about this event right now.
Yeah, let's get feedback from participants.
So who knew when everything started? Did you guys hear the loud gunshot that was audible back there? No. Okay, a lot of yeses, a lot of no's. What did somebody say about screaming? I just heard something important.
I said there was no screaming at all.
There was no screaming at all. There was nobody that yelled. There's a shooter. We're being attacked. Nobody yelled. Why? Let's just ask this, and I'm not putting anybody on the spot. Why do you think nobody yelled?
In the normal time, people are frozen sometimes.
Some people are frozen. Some people don't want to get shot. It's also a work environment. You're not supposed to yell in here. You're supposed to use a calm, professional voice. In an event like this, don't be afraid to break out of your box. You could save somebody's life. If you'd heard somebody yell like that, might more people have run outside? Maybe. Okay? That's why we do this event, okay? People, there's confusion, mistakes get made. That's why we do this kind of training. This is a drill. Are you guys alive right now? Did anybody actually get shot with a bullet? No. Let's all be thankful for that. This is training, this is a drill. We all get to go home today, think about it, talk about it, and learn from it. This is a good thing, okay? This is the same thing for where you live. We would rather have mistakes made and things happen in this scenario than you guys get to a real event and have trouble or forget something that you could have done something to save yourself or somebody else's life. So there are no shouts. Who called 911? Cindy did. Another person did. When did you call 911?
I got shot in the leg.
After you got shot in the leg. Outstanding.
I waited a little bit.
You waited a little bit. That's okay.
Then I was like, oh yeah, I better call 911.
Right. But that's okay too, because you're worried about, in a real event, saving your life and figuring out the confusion. All right? So that's one thing. Don't be afraid to call out. You need to warn people. Does anybody know, does this office have an intercom system?
Yes.
Some people says yes.
Yes. It's a phone intercom system.
It's a phone intercom system, so somebody could have picked up that intercom system and used it.
Does everybody know how to use it?
Probably not.
We need to learn, because I didn't hear it.
You can call the IT department, we'll show you how.
Okay.
So anyways, look at what we just, a good learning point, right? We just realized, hey, we could alert everybody.
Right.
Well, and sound gets trapped by, different angles of walls. You've got files in here that are thick, absorbing, a lot of things going on.
Was there a motive for this shooting when you guys came in right now? Or I know there's not always a motive.
Jeff, what was your motive?
In this case.
I was, Cindy fired me a couple of years ago, so I'm pretty upset about that.
But you were calling out a doctor's name.
Yeah, John Smith.
That's
Cindy's boss,
Yeah. But I mean, think about it, and we know, because, we do this in healthcare environments all the time. Could a family member lose someone and be upset? That happens a lot. What about, we're not writing narcotics anymore? What about, yeah, right, everybody's going, oh, right? What about all the different motivations that could cause this? What if I'm in the wrong place? That's happened. Somebody shows up to the wrong place. I'm mad because, Cindy fired me, and but she's not in this clinic. They don't even work here anymore, I don't know that. Right?
Okay, do you guys have any feedback? Do you guys have any questions for us? Or anything that you saw?
Real quick, who is working as a clinician? Checking in patients, working with patients. What did you do with the patients?
We stayed in the room.
Okay.
Initially heard the gunshot.
Block the room, block the doors.
And then when it was over, initially I did nothing. And then I was told what to do.
Okay. No, fair enough.
How about you?
I sort of heard the chaos. We heard what sounded like maybe a gunshot. We weren't sure, and then I heard some people screaming or yelling, and then literally within 10 seconds, John over there I tried to close the door, and he kind of had his gun in, and I was hitting him with the noodle. So I assumed I might have gotten injured. So.
He was using the tactical noodle to defend himself.
Right.
It was very good.
So I didn't really do anything at that point because I either was dead or injured.
Yeah, but you did a good job because I was standing there and you were pushing back on the door. That was well done. Who moved the table in the back in the break room?
I heard that.
Thumbs up. Did it stop the shooter? No. Did it slow him down? Absolutely.
It took him a little bit to get through that. Yeah.